What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you are new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content that we have coming out. And with this video, we are jumping into Eternals issue number 10. If you have not been keeping up with everything going on with the Eternals, if you didn't check out the Eternals the Heretic, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It's gonna get you completely caught up on everything going on with this series. And we last left off with Phastos being kidnapped by Thanos. He kidnapped him because Thanos wants to become one with the machine, believing that Phastos is the one individual that can make this possible. He went down to the city of the Deviants, he waged war, kidnapping him and making their retreat. The Eternals are now trying to figure out what to do next, believing that they need to speak to the Celestials. The one place they can go on Earth is the Avengers hideout inside our dead Celestial. The only issue is they don't want the Avengers finding out about any of this, at least right now, believing that Thanos has always been an Eternals issue and they're gonna keep this completely internal. Be sure to buy the comic, support the industry, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we are picking up at Avengers Mountain. This is the North Pole, the corpse of our space god. Sitting outside, we have Icarus and Athena. They are on standby just in case things go sideways. Because right now, Sersi, she is inside. She has come to meet with Namor. Iron Man trying to give him some counsel and let him know that he just doesn't trust her. That the Eternals, they gotta be up to something. They're holding back information, they're not telling us everything, and I feel like something is about to happen. Namor completely dismissing everything that he is saying. And that is because Sersi is in his room right now, and Namor, and while he doesn't know it, Sersi is making a distraction. Because on the outside, we have Makkari, we have Ajax, we have Kingo, and we have Sprite. They are all gonna make their infiltration in here and try to make some kind of communication with their god. Meanwhile, on the outside, picking up with Thanos and Phastos. Right now, Phastos is being tortured to the extreme, because Thanos is trying to get any information he can, trying to become one with the machine. Phastos may be the one person to help him. Being tortured to the extreme, nothing that Thanos is doing is working. Going to Druig and trying to figure out what he can do. What could he possibly do to make him talk? Druig letting him know that it is leverage. That is what you need to be able to get this information out of him. And so, he uses the humans. The one thing that they are sworn to protect, showing him the town of Little Hollow, having a detonator in his hand. This would cause the machine to vent, having plasma vented all over the city. Everything would be wiped out in an instant. And so reluctantly, Phastos gives up the information and lets him know that he simply reanimated him and only made him part of the machine in the ways that he could see. But full integration into the machine, he never had time to discover this. But if anybody had this information, he would have to talk to his parents. And lucky for him, his parents, they are in the next cell over. Druig giving him this information, he goes to visit his mother, the one known as Susan. Picking up at Avengers Mountain, we have the Eternals. They are sneaking onto the base, completely invisible to everybody. They are able to go unseen, except for one person getting a sense of them. That one person just so happens to be Starbrand. And the Eternals, they really have mixed it up with the Avengers for all of time. They have seen every iteration of the Avengers ever since the Avengers became a thing so many hundreds of thousands of years ago. From the prehistoric age of human beings being able to walk around to the current time era, they have seen the evolution of Avengers. And these Avengers, these are ones that they really don't want to go against. While they probably would win, the truth is, they're not trying to start a fight with them. What they want to do is keep them out of the loop. Picking back up with Thanos. He has killed his mother 6 times, and his father, he has killed them 3 times, trying to get any information he can out of them, having them resurrected every single time. And right now, it seems like nothing is going to stop him. Having an unquenchable thirst for murder, he is taking his time every single time and murdering his parents over and over and over. But now he wants to know, how can I stop them from ever coming back to life? He wants them permanently killed. Right now, there is no way to actually permanently kill somebody. Phastos was able to temporarily stop resurrection, but to stop them completely, you would have to stop the machine. As long as there is an Earth in existence, your parents will continue to live on. And so this is when he commenced to torturing them, just like he did to Phastos. His parents informing him that he was the worst mistake that they had ever made. Recognizing that none of this torture is working, he tries to use the same thing he did to Phastos, showing them the town, showing them the detonator. They don't care. They tell him to kill them all because you are the worst thing here. And if we give you any information, the lives that would come at that cost would be so drastic, it would be incalculable. With him pressing the button, the machine lets Icarus and Athena know exactly what is going on. The two of them not wasting any time, they jettison to the small town. They go to see what is happening. Meanwhile, inside, our team, they have gotten to the location they need to be at, with Ajax beginning to speak the tongue of the gods the best she can. No one can do it better than her. As she speaks in ones and zeros, we see the space god making its arrival. But with this celestial making its arrival, the Avengers are now being alerted to this happening. Recognizing that there's been a security breach, Kingo is the one who is going to have to hold off the Avengers. As he draws out his swords, he lets them know that he has always wanted to live in a Die Hard movie. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. This was another one that was relatively quick. It felt more like a filler issue than anything else. You know, they could have easily told this story over, maybe 10 pages, and you could have had a whole other part of the story continuing it on. But we have the Eternals breaking into Avengers Mountain, breaking into the Dead Celestial. This is their only way of communicating with their gods. Not sure if this was even going to work. It did. But in doing so, it alerts the Avengers, and now they're going to be coming in full force, with Sprite keeping Starbrand occupied, transforming herself into more or less his childhood favorite cartoon thing. More than anything, it looks like a crazy, demented, psychopathic, murdering bunny, but Starbrand absolutely loves it. Meanwhile, Thanos has been continuing to enact his plan, now having a weapon that can destroy all of Earth, having a failsafe that he got from what he calls his grandfather now, and we saw all of this take place in Eternals the Heretic. What he wants now is to become one with the machine. He needs to figure out how he was created, and that is only going to come from his parents, the two Eternals who wanted to have a child, and that child became the worst thing to ever happen. Recognizing that Eternals should never have kids after this, that is why we don't have Eternals that are actually having offspring. Thanos was the warning. He was the one mistake that they learned about. Now knowing that they can't do this, Thanos plans to reverse this. At the very least, he is going to learn their secrets and become one with the machine, become immortal, become unkillable, tying his death with all of humanity. And so by the very principles that they live by, they are not allowed to kill Thanos if it means the sacrifice of every single human life. Another reason that they have been conflicted about their own resurrection process, finding out that every time they die and get resurrected, it costs one human life. And it's quite interesting to find out just how much the Celestials don't interfere. They leave everybody to their own thing, and it has caused so much conflict. From civil war between the Eternals, now the Eternals finding out that their resurrection costs a human life. Many of them are also beginning to turn away from the Celestials, though they are doing it very differently than Thanos. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you truly enjoy the content that we have coming out, be sure to donate to the channel using the super thanks button. If you can't do that, be sure to subscribe, hit that like button, hit that notification bell, and until the next breakdown.